Okay, so once again, we'd like to thank you for coming to our Library Faculty Fest. Today's workshop is on mobile apps and what kind of mobile apps you can use that will help you in your research and for your classes. So today's presenters are Matthew Buckley, who is a subject specialist here at the Alvin Sherman Library, Tricia Previtt, who is a reference librarian, and myself, Ellen Asalto, who is a reference librarian. So I'm going to give this to Tricia to begin.
Thank you, Elena, and good afternoon, everybody. So the two apps that I'm going to be showing are productivity apps. They may be ones that you are a little bit familiar with, maybe even ones that you use a little bit, but hopefully I might be able to shed some light on how else you could be using them or how else you could integrate them both, like Elena said, for your research, but just, things that kind of might help you with your productivity. So what you're actually seeing now is a broadcast of the iPad that I have here in front of me. So the first app that I want to talk about is Evernote. Has anyone ever used Evernote here? A couple hands. Okay. Yeah. So Evernote is this great app, and it's available for Android, for Apple devices, and it's also available on your computer. So the idea is that you can store notes, you can capture photos, it records voice reminders as well. You can put documents in there, and they actually have this really new cool feature called Page Capture, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit. And I have played with this app both. This is the iPad app, and it does look a little bit different for Android. Like I have this on my phone. I also have it on my Kindle Fire, and it kind of looks different in each place, but it pretty much works the same. So just looking at this, you can see that I've taken a couple. Like this one is a screencast, a capture of the reference desk, just, testing. So I have saved a picture that perhaps I, want to use for something, I don't know, for a presentation or what have you. I've also included here at the bottom, let me use Elena's laser pointer here. I've also recorded an audio file, so if perhaps I don't remember why I took this picture, then I could listen, to my recorded note there and remember that. Yes, there's a question. The question was, did I take the picture and record the file at the same time? The answer is no, I didn't do it at the same time, but I was using my phone, so I was able to take the picture, and then you're prompted. Like I'll open this back up. Then you're prompted. You can see the icons up at the top here. You can add in the one that obviously is a microphone. Allows you to add in the voice capability there as well. Yeah, good question. But the really nice thing about both apps that I'm going to show you is that all of the things that you put into here are going to be available on whatever device that you download the app to. So if you're on the run and you just have your phone, maybe you didn't bring your iPad with you, or maybe you have this on your computer and your phone, and obviously you're not going to cart around a desktop everywhere you go. So it's nice to be able to carry the things that you want with you. The other things that it allows you can see that I do have a recipe here, my mom's apple crisp. So instead of having to call her, all the time for that recipe, I've saved it here. And Evernote actually just released a new app that's called Evernote Food. So I'd recommend that if you guys are foodies, or I won't talk too much about it, but but it allows you to keep track of your recipes, about restaurants that you've visited, frequented, kind of like Yelp. But it's kind of neat, and it's just brand new. So if you like that sort of thing, I'd recommend going and checking that out as well. And let's see what else. So the capabilities over on the right here, let me use the pointer. I'm sorry, the left. This is the page capture feature, which I'll talk about in a moment. This is the photo, and then this is just for creating a note. So you can also tag things. I haven't, just because I don't have a lot in Evernote, but it would allow you to search pretty easily. So you see the find a tag search capability up here on the right. So it just depends on how much you're going to use it. You can file things into notebooks. So I've created one for my Alvin Sherman library things, maybe just things in general, which you can see all my testing here. Go back. So it's one place to keep a bunch of things, and it really just depends. As you play with it, you'll kind of determine if this is something that would be helpful to you. If you find yourself, super connected and you want the capability to be able to take all this stuff with you, Evernote would be a great option. And they've also partnered with Moleskine, which you might recognize from looking at the really nice notebooks like in Barnes & Noble. So they've actually created a notebook that has capabilities, and that's what the page capture feature is about. And actually the page capture feature, I should digress here for a moment, only works with iPad currently because this is a new feature. So if you're using it, I tried to use it on my Android on my phone and it wasn't really working correctly, but it works well on the iPad. So what I want to do at this point is show you a quick video from the Moleskine store, so that way you can see what they've developed in collaboration with Evernote. So what they've done is they've created a couple different size notebooks. So I know for myself, I don't like to be super connected, so I also enjoy writing out notes. So you could potentially buy one of these notebooks. As you can see, they're not that pricey. They range from 25, and I think the larger one, is 30. So it's not too much of a cost. I'm going to get there. And the question was, why do we need this notebook? And I'm going to show you. So this shows you, this tutorial, this quick little video is going to show you why you would potentially want to buy this product and how it works with Evernote. There is usually sound, but the capability with the iPad we haven't configured with it yet, but you'll get the gist of it. Nobody's talking, it's just music. Okay, so I think I've shown enough of the video. But basically what it does is it takes your handwritten notes, it captures the page, and then it will upload it into your Evernote app. And the little tags that you're seeing are stickers. So you can actually put the stickers, assign different headings to those tags, and then it will automatically upload your page capture according to whatever tag you've put in and put it into its respective folders. And it also will look at the handwriting and allow you to have search capabilities within Evernote according to what you've written. So this is a pretty new capability that they've partnered with Moleskine. So I just wanted to show you because it's pretty different. It's kind of neat. Yeah, the question was is that you have to take a picture of every page, yes. And they do have another video that I'm not going to show, but what they are showing is it's kind of like more for like graphic artists or for people sharing like designs or pictures, or I could even see students maybe perhaps sharing notes that way, or even colleagues. It just, I think if you like to handwrite, then this is kind of a capability to allow you to also upload it into Evernote, which is kind of neat. I haven't seen this kind of cross, collaboration with, technologies, if you will. Neat. Okay, so are there any questions? Let me go back to my Evernote. Any questions about it? No? Any questions online? the question was if Google has come up with something similar. I'm aware of Google Docs that allows you to share, but I'm not aware of anything else that's, yeah, Google, they also have Google Drive, which allows you to, yeah. So I don't know of anything different unless you guys do. No? No? Okay. Yeah. All right. Great. So I'll move on to the second app that I wanted to show, which is Dropbox. And has anyone ever used Dropbox? A couple. Okay, great. Okay. Question.
From online, how does this notebook work within research? Okay, sharing notes or?
So like I said before, let me go back to the just the screen here before I get into Dropbox to answer the question. The notebook, to show Evernote it's a productivity application. So it's, like I said, if you're connected to your whatever devices that you own and you like to, use them, in your day-to-day, functions, whether as a researcher, as a faculty member, as a librarian, whatever. If you find that it's going to be helpful to you, then, use it. But if you find that it just, you don't like Okay, sorry about that. Are you able to hear me online again or wireless? Of course, picked a great time to not work. Okay, great. Thank you. Let me try to get the iPad back up and going. One moment.
That's right. It showed up and now it didn't show up. There it is.
Yeah.
Or but for some reason the mirroring's not coming in. The thing's not showing up on there.
Let me copy you.
Sorry for the technical issues. We're trying to just get the iPad up and functioning again.
Close it out down here and then restart it, like using the program thing on the phone. When you press close, it will start running.
Which one of these are we supposed to select? Oh, I don't know. I don't think the same option is coming up. So it looks like we're going to have to ask for some assistance from our systems librarian because we're not able to figure out what the problem is. So if you'll stick with us, he should be coming down shortly and we'll have the presentation up and going again. Thank you for your patience. Okay, great. So we've got it up and running. I'll just show Dropbox really quickly and then I'll hand it over to Matt and he can get going on his. So let me just change the view here. Okay. Okay, great. And again, Dropbox is an... It's on, I'm sorry. One second. Okay. Great. So Dropbox is another app that's also available on Android computer. I actually have it on my PC here in the library. So it's a place that you can dump a bunch of information. As you'll see that I have you can do documents, photos, videos. So I have, PDFs. This is someplace that you can put, kind of different things. Like Evernote is more for notes and things to, like reminders for yourself or maybe like pictures or things that you want to share with others. Dropbox is more, I would say, for like presentations, or I also use this up in Orlando when we taught for summer conference. I put, which is what you're seeing right here, this folder. I put all my presentations up there and then just uploaded it, and it's a cloud service. So it's available anywhere that you can get Wi-Fi. The thing that I like about Dropbox is it also allows you to share. Oops. So you can click on the little arrow thing and you can email it, you can text it, you can put it on Facebook, you can tweet it, you can do all kinds of really neat things with it. It also allows you to, somehow when I was trying this with my phone's an Android, it uploaded a bunch of my pictures from my phone camera. So I guess if you wanted to back up your pictures on your phone, then you can do that. You can see I have pictures there. Yeah, my cat, come on. Librarians got to So Dropbox is really good for that. There's a couple things I wanted to mention about Dropbox. Another big thing that I've seen in the tech blogs this week is that Dropbox is now integrated with Yahoo Mail. So if any of you use Yahoo Mail, you will now see that you can also sign up for Dropbox, and it works together. So you can put your files in Dropbox. You can also, it allows you to transfer larger files than Yahoo Mail itself would. I believe that there was a 25 megabyte restriction. Now with having Dropbox added into Yahoo Mail, you can do files that are larger. Let's see. Okay, and the other collaboration I wanted to mention was Dropbox and Mailbox are now partnering. Has anyone ever heard of Mailbox? No, okay. So this is a new application. You actually have to go on their website and get put into a line to be able to get Mailbox. And what it is it works to integrate your email on your, I believe it's just for Apple products right now, like for your iPhone, and it makes it a lot simpler. It deconstructs like Gmail and Yahoo Mail, whatever your email server is, and it makes it a lot simpler. It uploads a lot faster, and it has a lot more memory available than what like Gmail and Yahoo does. So again, it just depends if this app is something that you think that might make your life easier, then now they are now partnering with Dropbox. So they haven't said a lot of details about it, but kind of stay tuned to see what kind of capabilities Dropbox is going to help Mailbox with. So are there any questions about Dropbox? Okay, great. So I'm going to hand it over to Matt.
Okay. Hello, my name's Matthew Buckley. I'm the librarian for Arts and Humanities here at the Sherman Library. And during my section, I'm actually going to go over applications that are pretty much library related, specifically ones that either from vendors or tie into something we provide from a vendor. And just to show you, because we're not specifically going over these in this session, but that they are available, is anytime you're on your iPhone or your iPad in the App Store, you can search for, and the example's up here on the screen, but Gale is one of our major databases. If you type in the name of the vendor, you'll often come across their applications. So like Gale Cengage has one called Access My Library. There is, as you'll see, it's the one kind of in the center there is the college version. Usually in that app you have to select the institution, so in this case Nova Southeastern University, but it will connect you with the Gale resources. The same can be done with other ones, for example EBSCO. If you type EBSCO, or EBSCO, technically also go by EBSCO host. Now you'll notice if you're an iPad, nothing comes up because it's not an application for the iPad. But if you click iPhone, they do have an iPhone app for EBSCO host. So some of the vendors do provide applications for their products. It's important to know if that's your preferred method of how you want to get it, that some of them do have them available.
A lot of the iPhone apps, you can download them to the iPad, and then it allows you to just expand it so that it looks bigger, so you're not looking at a teeny tiny little screen.
And my colleague to the online was just mentioning that if you do the iPhone app, you can technically often put it on the iPad and just expand it out. I'm going to specifically in this instance show two applications. One's called Bluefire Reader, and the other one is One Click Digital. Bluefire Reader relates back to downloadable electronic books, specifically for a device like the iPad. What you're going to find is most of our downloadable electronic books use a software program called Adobe Digital Editions. So if you were on your own PC or had another type of device such as a Nook, you can use that to either download the book onto your PC or transfer it over to a Nook. However, if you have an iPad, you'd want to use the Bluefire Reader application to transfer the item from the database onto your device like the iPad, and that's what I will show you today. Most, not all, but a vast majority of the ebook resources do offer downloadable options. eBooks from EBSCO offers it. My iLibrary, which currently is our primary one that we get the most active materials, ebook materials in, offers it for some of the material. And even other products such as GVRL, which is Gale Virtual Reference Library, you can send like chapter, because in that area it's mainly encyclopedias, dictionaries, reference works. You can send the PDF of an entire section or chapter and download it into a thing. And Bluefire Reader works with PDFs, so it would work for that as well. I'm going to go to the library website real quick. One thing to note for the two I'm going to show, Bluefire Reader, when you're downloading a book, there'll be multiple steps along with having to use the Apple App Store and selecting Bluefire Reader. You're going to need to create an account in the actual database to be able to download the item. If you didn't want to download it all, you theoretically can just view it within the database. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you do want to download, you have to create a free account with the database to be able to do it. When you go to the library's website and you go into the databases area, you will see once you get to the databases section on our website, there is one full whole link for just ebooks. Middle column towards the bottom under Browse by Type of Material. And you will see a lot of our major ebook vendors. And the one I'm specifically going to show is my iLibrary. But what I had mentioned was number 4, ebook collection from EBSCO is another one that provides a similar type of option. I am going to go into my iLibrary, and as any resource, you have to authenticate using your NOVA credentials. For those that looked real quick, you just saw my password, but that's all right. I am in my iLibrary. In here, the key ingredient, if you're going to download something, is you'll notice in the top left corner it says My Account. And that is where you would log into an account in my iLibrary. If I click Log In, this is where you would have to create a free separate login with this particular resource. So if you didn't have one, you'll see the last option there at the bottom says Create an Account. I already have one, so I'm going to log into my account. And once I'm logged in, you'll notice there's in the upper right corner, it says log out, which will let you know obviously I'm logged in if I can log out. And here is where you can see the various books that we offer. I'm going to do a quick search in advanced search. Come on. I'll find. It's frozen. Yeah, the iPad's not even moving. Give me a moment here.
Yeah, because I think it was downloading all
yeah.
of them. Yeah.
So I just want to make sure I understand. So the library has all these ebooks, and my iLibrary is one database that I can use to access.
Yes. For example, I believe we're now over 20,000 titles in my iLibrary. EBSCO ebooks has quite a large number as well, but that's a shared collection, meaning we share it with other libraries. And in terms of active materials, like this last fiscal year when we bought stuff, it's primarily going into here when it's an ebook. The other one's more of an older collection. I'm just going to do a search to save a little time here, and we'll do mythology. One of the things, sure.
The question online is, do you always have to have internet connection to read the book you have downloaded from my iLibrary, or are they physically stored on your iPad?
If it's downloaded, you theoretically would not need the internet connection once it's been downloaded, but before then you would definitely need the internet connection. One of the people here, Leah, correctly points out to me that many of the ebooks have a certain limit of the number of people that can watch or view a particular book or download it at a time. In my iLibrary, it's 3 simultaneous users, which means only 3 people can view a particular item at one time. I've been told 1 download counts as 1 user. And my colleague was saying, so for example, if the same book was downloaded twice, there should still be 1 copy available for regular viewing, essentially. What you're seeing here is it will show you the book. If you click where it says open now, that means you're literally just opening it on your computer. You're not actually downloading it. If you wanted to download the item, that's where you would click Add to Bookshelf for Download. And if you click that, then it would then say title is added to Bookshelf. And so the next question is, where do you go to your bookshelf? And that's...
Before you go into that, I know that there's a limiter on the site that you can view just the results that are available for download.
Yes. On the left-hand side, someone in the audience pointed out on the left-hand side in the left-hand column, it does do a lot of the sorting features that most databases would provide you. And in here, because it's ebooks, it's breaking it down by subject, by publisher, but it's also giving you the ones that are downloadable or not downloadable in the left-hand column, sort of towards the top of the page. Once you've added a book to your bookshelf, you would go under your account, and you should see a link that says Bookshelf. And I've already downloaded a couple books in here, but the one that you are about to download should always be the one that has a lending period showing. So in this case, it's the middle one, and it's giving you your lending period option. The default is 14 days, 2 weeks, meaning that once you download it, you have it for 2 weeks. You will see you can choose a longer period than that, up to 30 days. Sure.
If I downloaded this book on my iPad, then I later go to my desktop and also download it on my desktop, and download it on Facebook, like not allowing me to download it from Chrome. I think we have to ask that question.
I'll have to, as my colleague points, I think we have to ask. The question was, if you've downloaded it on one device, can you basically transfer it to another device? We'll check on that and we'll add it to the guide. Is that all right? We'll check with the vendor to see about that because we're not completely sure on that one. And we'll add the answer to the guide, the guide for this program afterwards. Once you select a lending period, you'll see on the right side of the screen just a button that says Download. And once you click it, if you've downloaded Bluefire Reader, it should recognize that you have Bluefire Reader and then say Open in, and then you would select Open in Bluefire Reader. You had a question?
Yeah, I was wondering, what if somebody asked, someone asked, if you have it downloaded, it's on your device,
Mm-hmm.
does that in any way change some of the printout sort of options? I think she was hoping that maybe she could get more of a printout because it was downloaded. Does that change the print parameters at all?
The question was, we've gotten questions at the desk, if once you've downloaded the printing options, do they change or not? I'll be honest, I'm not aware that they change. In Bluefire Reader, I'm not real familiar with the printing options. I know in Adobe Digital Editions you can print pages, but the default in the database itself is 10 pages. I am not sure if it would let you go over the 10 pages in one of the other ones. I would have to check that as well. As you can see, some of the books, depending on how big it is, will take a little while to download. Once it does download, it should eventually populate in here, and you will see the book appear in the screen with the other selections. You can vaguely make out in the background some of the other titles that are already in there. Question?
Do I access the library through the iShart app, or do I go to the website on my tablet?
You theoretically should be able to get to the library in either location, because to get to these resources, you need, though, to get to the databases section. Okay. Someone pointed out they had asked if you could get to this through iShark, and while the library is hopefully coming into iShark, we are not in iShark currently. I will give this another couple seconds. I don't want to spend all our time as we're getting kind of close to the end of this session, but once it downloads, it would show in here, and you literally just click the title, and the PDF just loads up right in Bluefire Reader for you to view. Were there any questions about this? This is if you were downloading an ebook using your iPad. You would essentially use this application called Bluefire Reader. If it's a PDF, you don't necessarily have to use Bluefire Reader. But, go ahead. If it's PDFs, there are other readers, but the way that most of the vendors have worked it up is they do kind of like the direct export straight into it. But because not all files are necessarily the PDF file, so that's why it can vary. But a lot of times it is a PDF file. Another question?
It's more for the benefit of the attendees that when you selected the database name back on the database page, there is a link there for help if people do need help. You do have a guide.
Yeah, there's a guide. Back when you're on the databases section for the ebooks, there's a link to a guide we've created with help sheets and all kinds of questions if you're having problems with any of these things. As you see, it finally did download, and then it gives you the option, you want to read now or read later. If you click read now, it literally should open up the book right on the center of the screen for you to look at. And for example, there's the title page, and then you can start flipping literally page by page through the book. Any questions? The other one I was going to show real quick is one called OneClick Digital. OneClick Digital, it's not downloadable ebooks, it's audio books. It's a specific database that we have. I'm going to get out of this real quick. Again, the application, you could literally go to the App Store and type in OneClick or OneClick Digital and download the application. An important thing to note, though, is you need to create your account on the library's database for it to work, which means, and let me go back to the library website here real quick. When you're in the databases section, the database name is called OneClick Digital. So the easiest way I find it is just going by the name of it. So one starting with the letter O. It's right there, number 6. It says over 10,000 downloadable audiobooks. Yeah, and that one has a guide as well where you'll see if you need help using OneClick Digital, try this guide. And that's the guide we've created. At the end of the description, there's the blue link that says try this guide. The guide is a linkable guide you can go to. And in OneClick Digital, you would need to create an account because that's how it knows what OneClick is subscribed to at a lot of libraries. So it needs to know where you're coming from, basically. And so that's why you'll notice in the upper right corner it says create a new account. And that's where you create an account. And once you've created an account, then it knows specifically, oh, you're a library patron at NOVA. These would be the resources that you have access to. And once you have created an account, that's when in the application, and when you create an account in OneClick, you create your own username and your own password. And what you're seeing here is yesterday I downloaded an audio book. And so right here you're seeing the actual audio book that I had downloaded from yesterday, an audio book called Codex 632. If I wanted to listen to the audio book, you see the play button is on the right-hand corner of the book. and you would click play, and it will start playing your audiobook. Just a little thing that I've personally noticed in this database, when you download an audiobook, you got to give it a little time. Sometimes upwards of 5 to 10 minutes to let it download all the content. Otherwise, you'll try to go into it and it's either not doing anything or it's only loaded part of the content. Usually I say give it about 10 minutes to make sure if it hasn't in 10 to 15 minutes, then sure, you could contact us and we'll try to figure out what's going on, but some of the downloading in one click can take a couple minutes to do it. But in the app, once you've done it and you've logged in, if you've downloaded stuff, you usually see them right here in the center of the screen. And like I said, I'd click the play button if I wanted to play this audiobook. If you want to browse titles to download something else, it's right below it, that link that says Browse More Titles. And because, as I said, because you've created that account through when you logged into Nova and then logged into the database, it knows that this is a Nova account, so it knows which things you should have access to. So once you're browsing things like right here, it's knowing that that's why you're seeing the Nova logo there, that it knows that it's through Nova. And like most databases, they give you this browse option where you're seeing the pages. If you want to do any kind of searching, they have a general search right near the top, or you'll notice above the search box is a tab for an advanced search. And that's handy if there's a particular type of material you're looking for. For example, historical fiction or something. You can go under advanced search and then it will let you kind of customize your search however you want to. Are there any questions about this? This is audiobooks, one-click digital. I am handing it over real quick to my colleague, Elena. Thank you and have a good day.
Hi, my name is Elena Salto, and I'm going to talk about EndNote, the EndNote app. I know yesterday you got a little overloaded with EndNote. It was a really good presentation, but they do. Thomson Reuters had created an EndNote app. It's only available for the iPad. I searched for the Android, and I wasn't able to find any evidence that there is an Android app. However, if any of you find evidence that there is an Android app, please let me know so that we can pass on that information. I'm teaching, the question was what part am I teaching? I'm teaching EndNote, the EndNote app. I just wanted to show the EndNote app. So I downloaded the EndNote app. If you were able to get to it during its initial period, it was $1.99, but unfortunately now it's jumped up to $9.99. It is not within the EndNote license that we have for Nova Southeastern, so if you're doing it on your own personal device, you're going to need to purchase it. So I did purchase it, and I'm going to click on EndNote. And the EndNote app works with EndNote Web. So first of all, you're going to need to create an EndNote Web account. To do so, I would go through, or the way I created it is I went through let me try this one again. I went to the database to get to it. I went to the Web of Knowledge database. At the top it'll say EndNote Web. You just click on it, you fill out the information, and there's no problems whether you're on campus or you're off campus. You're authenticated through Nova Southeastern, therefore they'll allow you to create an EndNote Web account for free. So once you create an EndNote Web account for free, then you can link your EndNote app to that EndNote Web account. So I'm going to click on Settings, and I'm going to click Sign In. And I'm going to quickly sign in, hopefully quickly sign in. And you can see on this. I'm going to, it's not, sign in. It's not showing, oh, that's interesting that it's not showing up. Am I losing? Oh, it's that's another one of the, I'm sorry, I apologize. It looks like the iPad is thinking again. Hold on. Let's just end some of this other. Sometimes if you overload an iPad, it gets a little confused. So let's see if this will work. But I can talk about it. It looks like it's kind of frozen and we only have a couple of more minutes. With the iPad, with the EndNote app, you can view the records. You can even organize from the iPad app. You can create groups. You can move records into those groups. You could see over to the on the left-hand side, My Groups. If I could use it, I could open it up and show you the different groups. You can open up the PDFs and you can read the PDFs that you have previously attached to the record. What's also nice about, I thought there for a moment, it kind of stuttered. You can make notations. You can highlight within the EndNote app. You can highlight, you can do a finger write, so you can keep little notes. However, any notes or any highlighting you have done in the EndNote app will not transfer up to EndNote Web, and it will not transfer to your EndNote desk account. It's saved. The question was, does it save within the app? Yes, it saves within the app, and it's because of the technology they have to use for the app, and it's not quite compatible with what EndNote Web and EndNote, the full EndNote uses. They are working on this issue, and they're hoping to fix that because it's nice to be able to make the notes and then have all those notes transfer up. You can create a favorites. You can even download. You can, at the top, near the right-hand side, there's a little button that says Web. It'll open up a browser. You can do some research within databases, and you can download into your EndNote app. And because you're attached to the EndNote Web account, it will synchronize up to EndNote Web. So it's a really nice way to be able to do things if you have, if you're traveling, you're in a carpool, or you've got some downtime that you'd like to do a little bit of research or a little bit of reading, you can do so as long as you have connectivity. Problems that I found is that a lot of those auto downloads that you find the exporting on the different databases, it's a little shaky. Some of them work well, some of them do not work so well. So my workaround for that is that most of them will allow you to save it to EndNote Web. So you save it to EndNote Web, you then synchronize it, and it'll get pulled down to your EndNote app. So that's what I've been doing with this, but I really like it. I guess we're losing everything here. But it's kind of nice. You cannot do Cite While You Write because it's not attached to any kind of Word or Quick Office, but it's a way to be able to read your articles, read your research, do a little research, do a little organizing while you have, you're on your iPad. I don't believe it'll ever truly take the place of a PC or the EndNote Web, but it's a nice way to be able to do a little research and to work with your information. And that's pretty much our presentation today for mobile apps. We appreciate you coming. Tomorrow we have a presentation on, what's the title of it? Laura Ramirez. It is Methodologies and Test and Measure Instruments, yeah. So she's going to go through SAGE research, research online, and psych tests, so trying to find those instruments and how to use those instruments or how to create interviews. So that's good for your research, or if you're working with master's students who have to do a thesis, or you're working with PhD doctoral students, it's a good way to, it's good to know. So thank you. We appreciate it. Have a good day, and we'll hopefully see you tomorrow.